If you give the media and hype the ability to influence your investments and you count on them to push them up, then you're always going to be at their mercy. If you give them the ability to feed you, you're going to give them the ability to starve you. Welcome back, YouTube. Today I'm going to address the recent rally that we've seen in Dogecoin, as well as a lot of the information that's being pumped out into the community. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that I try and provide value and give you great entry points as far as for Dogecoin and give you like some fundamentals along with a little bit of common sense. And that's really my approach to the entire market. But I want to address some things because I know that a lot of YouTubers are trying to capitalize off of the interest in Dogecoin, and they're going to pump out 50 videos a day saying Dogecoin to the moon and, you know, look at this rally here and everybody should jump in and pump the coin up. And then everyone's DCAs and their money is going to be spread out everywhere. And then in the correction, they're going to be like, how do I fix this? And then I'm going to have to make 10 more videos on averaging down and great entry points and using floors and all that kind of stuff. So this time I'm going to try and get in front of that and save as many people as possible. So let me start by saying that I am long Dogecoin. I have not sold any Dogecoin, but you should be strategic about your entry points. The same as any other investment, unless you just really don't care and you're treating it like an index fund and you're just going to put money in there every month, and then that's fine. Then you don't have to worry about it, and whatever it is at your time that you want to pull money out, you can do that. However, for me and my 35,000 subscribers, I tell them all the time, you do not chase bull runs, especially when you see a large amount of money that's injected into any market within a short period of time. That's highly unlikely that that's retail money. And what you want to be in a position is invest in consolidations and let the institutions pump your money up or your investment up versus the other way around. If you give the media and hype the ability to influence your investments and you count on them to push them up, then you're always going to be at their mercy. If you give them the ability to feed you, you're going to give them the ability to starve you. Now that's out of the way, let's do some housekeeping. Number one, you do not chase bull runs. You can invest and especially in the crypto market, in consolidation periods. We just seen one for that where it traded sideways for under 20 cents for, I believe, a few months. So what you can do is invest in those periods and look for corrections. Now, you can also invest on the way up, but I suggest that you wait until we get some floors of resistance and invest in those. It might be 25 cents right now. If it becomes more apparent, I'll make a video or make an announcement and I'll call it and say, okay, I believe this is a floor. We got some strong resistance. But as of right now, I'm not convinced, so I haven't said anything. Number two, we know that the crypto market is no different from the stock market. So whales and institutions are going to manipulate the prices and take profits at their leisure. This is the prime reason why you invest in consolidation periods and you're going to see the greatest amount of momentum, because when they come in, the entire market is going to rise at one time. It's not just Dogecoin. All of the crypto market tracks Bitcoin. So Bitcoin will be the number one as far as like on their spreadsheet of investment. They'll say, let's put X amount of money in Bitcoin, X in Ethereum, X in Dogecoin, and so on. And so the entire market will kind of flow with that. And then people, as the market, of course, retail will come in and buy in as well, just because people typically are attracted to bull runs. Number three, we know that the crypto market, when the institutions and the corporations do take profits, we know that the crypto market has very harsh corrections, usually 50 to 85%. Sometimes it's more like 50 to 80, but sometimes we get a little overshoot and it actually goes to 85%. We also know that these corrections can last several months. So therefore, when you're invested and you see a correction, there's no need to panic. As long as the indicator, which is technically Bitcoin now, as long as when it gets several spikes or some good press comes out about it and people rush into it, as long as you're getting reactions out of your current coin, then technically you're in a line with history for a rally whenever Bitcoin rallies. And also if you're in that 50 to 80% range, you're still technically in line. And even if you're in the red for 6 months, that does not go against history. And one thing that I've been working with my subscribers a lot on is averaging down, because we know that whether you want to see greater profits or you want to exit, let's say you want to exit Dogecoin altogether, you do not sell for a loss, you average down. What that means is if you have a DCA of like 100 and it goes down to 60, you start buying more aggressively at 60 and your DCA, I'll have to do like a DCA calculator or something, but it'll come down, depending on how many coins you buy, your DCA will now come down from 100, and let's say it'll be 80. And now, instead of waiting for it to get to 100, you can exit at 80 or take profits at 80 versus waiting to 100. So you're putting yourself in the green. How that works to your advantage. So let's say if you wanted to exit Dogecoin and your DCA was 50 cents and right now it's at 25. So if your DCA was at 50 cents and while Dogecoin was at like 19 or 20, you should have been buying very aggressively to bring your overall costs down. And then you simply wait for spikes, because even stocks, and especially crypto, they're extremely volatile. So when you wait for those spikes and you wait till you're trending close to your average or you overshoot it, and you're able to make an exit without taking a loss. This is the point of averaging down. Now, if you're long term, it doesn't necessarily matter because you're more so interested in coin count, but that's a very great and effective strategy if you're looking to exit or bring your costs down and just turn more profit. Another thing we know is just as quickly as we've seen all this money run into the crypto market, it can leave just as quickly. Remember a few months ago when pretty much we had over $1 trillion, like 600 billion left out of Bitcoin alone, just like that. So remember, as quickly as they inject it, they can take it. So what you want to do, especially in this situation, or if you don't have the stomach for it to be in red, or if you're over leveraged and you don't have the capital to average down, you want to be very strategic about your entry points. So when we get those consolidation points, that's when you invest. When we start hitting like those hard floors and we start seeing some resistance and some support levels, that's when you invest. Just because the stock is going up, and I don't care how many videos of YouTubers and what the media is saying, Dogecoin to the moon and whatever, if we believe hard enough, it'll go to $10, invest on the floors. There's a thing called gap. And when you see a stock shoot up and it's going very aggressively, let's say it goes from 25 cents to $1, it's going to have very little support in that range. So what happens is you're due for a correction or a very harsh correction, and typically it'll gap down. And again, I know I've said this a lot, the crypto market in general, but especially Dogecoin, that is a trader's dream. So what we were seeing and why Dogecoin was struggling so much with the, like I'll say 16 to 20 cents range, was because of the volatility in there. Traders were able to make an absolute fortune. We were seeing 30% jumps and decreases within the same week. They aren't going anywhere. We'll see this several more times on Dogecoin's way to $1 at different consolidation points. They'll find out a range and they'll be like, oh my God, Dogecoin's stuck, or what's going on? It'll do the bounce again, and then until there's a large push of capital or some press or something like that, it'll typically break out of that cycle. Or if Bitcoin gets a deal with a business or we get like a Dogecoin 2.0 or something like that, then we'll break the trend. But that is completely normal. And I'm not saying don't pay attention to media. Media is very important. Media is the #1 catalyst for any investment. That's crypto or stock. Media can turn a bad company good and a good company bad. Media that is the one thing that you cannot account for on a chart. So pay attention to the media, but just don't let it dictate your decisions, because the media has no loyalty. They're looking for a great story. Most of these YouTubers, they're looking for great stories. They're not going to tell you. They're going to pump out 20 videos a day and not really giving you any substance. And then when it has a harsh correction, they're just going to keep saying, to the moon and hold, and not really giving you any strategies. And that's going to lead you to a point of frustration, which is why I'm trying to give you more substance and like techniques that you can use to put yourself in a better position while we're in those consolidation periods as we trend upward. I am not a financial advisor. You are free to do whatever you want. Please do your own due diligence, but I just encourage you to be strategic with your approach. And if you have to sell, try and mitigate your losses, because your losses are not locked in until you sell. And I recommend not selling for a loss, because there are ways to avoid that. And I just told you the #1 way, especially if you're a trader, you already know about this as far as for averaging down. If you don't over leverage yourself, you can sell at any time and not take a loss, regardless of what's going on. If an emergency comes up and you need to, you can do this without taking a loss. Just be smart about it. I'm long Dogecoin, and I know that it's a common phrase to say like Dogecoin to the moon. I do believe that Dogecoin is going to survive the crypto consolidation that I made a video about. But I know that with the phrase that everyone is using right now, like Dogecoin to the moon or this to the moon, and everything's going to the moon. At this rate, the moon's going to be crowded. But Dogecoin, I believe, has a future. I believe it will evolve, and I believe it will survive the crypto consolidation, because most of these coins that you're seeing right now are not going to be here 5-10 years from now. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I made a video about it. I'll put it in the description. I'm working on part 2 for that as well. Be strategic about your investments. Don't let the media or YouTube or news outlets rock you to sleep, and focus on your investments. I'll provide an update as I see it, especially if we start getting some resistance at certain points. I'll call some floors for everyone and let you know some entry points as far as for if I start picking up more coins right now. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'll have all the links to my Instagram, my Twitter in the description section, as well as a link to Webull, where if you invest $5, you'll get 2 free stocks. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, and until next time.